Hello, welcome back to my channel. Flight 571 had 45 people on board, aside from the pilot and crew. The bulk of the passengers were members of a Christian club rugby team, who were traveling from Montevideo, Uruguay to Santiago, Chile for a game. The remaining travelers included the players' family and friends, and one woman who was on her way to her daughter's wedding. After the crash, the survivors turned the fuselage into a shelter, using suitcases, clothing, and seats to create a wall that prevented snow from entering the enclosure. For a while, they were able to survive with the snacks they found on board, included chocolate, candy, nuts, crackers, and alcohol. They also bottled snow and let it melt into drinking water. About a week later, when supplies ran out, the passengers tried consuming leather torn from ripped suitcases. They even ripped into the plane's seats, hoping to find straw or edible materials. Nothing. Soon enough, they considered something unthinkable: cannibalism. After holding a group discussion, most of the survivors agreed it was their only option. A few initially declined, but they changed their minds when they overheard that the rescue mission had been cancelled through the plane's radio. Parada recalled making a deal with his teammates. "We shook our hands, and we say, if I die, please use my body, so at least you can get out of here, and tell my family how much I love them." For a while, the group ate the flesh of dead passengers. Then, they faced yet another tragedy. On day 17, they were hit with an avalanche that buried the fuselage, with them inside of it. 8 people died immediately. After a few hours beneath the snow, Parada broke through the cockpit and managed to let air into the fuselage. Unfortunately, the avalanche resulted from an ongoing blizzard. To keep warm, the team had to remain in the fuselage, and, after 3 days, resort to cannibalism again. When the blizzard stopped, they finally dug themselves out. At that point, the group decided to search for help. They spent a few weeks training for their departure, and on day 61, 3 rugby players left the fuselage with ample clothing and 3 days' worth of food. The remaining survivors stayed behind. Parada and Canessa hiked for 10 days. Along the way, they spotted a campsite and walked toward it, eventually spotting a man named Sergio Catalan on the opposite side of a river. Parada was able to get the attention of Catalan, who said he'd come back the next day. When Catalan returned, he brought his 2 sons and threw a note across the river with paper and a pencil attached to it. Parada and Canessa wrote back and explained their situation. Soon after, the military arrived and saved Parada and Canessa. Meanwhile, a rescue team flew to the fuselage to retrieve the remaining survivors. The passengers survived for 72 days in the wilderness. When they finally arrived at a hospital, they were treated for altitude sickness, dehydration, frostbite, broken bones, malnutrition, and scurvy. Thank you for watching. Take care. See you in next video. Please subscribe, like, and share.